This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
From the Old Testament book of Genesis, the serpent represents the devil. God had strictly warned Adam and Eve not to eat from a particular tree in the Garden of Eden, but Satan, in his crafty ways, managed to convince them to partake of its fruit, promising it would give them unending wisdom. When God finds out what the two have done, he declares that from then henceforth, human beings shall grow old and die, while the snake would be subjected to physical violence from humans. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the quest for eternal life by the lead character takes him to the particular flower that could accord him this wish. The serpent, however, causes him to let go of it. The serpent is responsible for Gilgamesh not getting everlasting life in the same way that the serpent in the Bible led Adam and Eve to lose a chance at eternal life. In both stories, the serpent uses well-thought-out trickery to accomplish his mission. In the Bible story, the snake isolates Eve and then makes her believe that God had a hidden motive not to let them eat the fruit from the particular tree. The temptation to go against God's commands proves too firm, and finally, Eve gives in and, finding out the goodness of the fruit, manages to convince Adam to have a taste as well. In the Gilgamesh story, the serpent tracks Gilgamesh's movements to the flower of immortality wish. While Gilgamesh stops to rest and have a bath, the serpent snatches the flower of eternal life from him, consequently taking away immortality from mankind. In the Bible creation story, the serpent chooses Eve's time of weakness, when Adam is not present, to corrupt her brain with physical desires. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the serpent strikes at him, Gilgamesh, in his time of weakness, that is, whilst he is bathing. This similarly illustrates that the serpent knows that he is no match for the human when he, the human, is well aware of its strength and therefore preys on him during his weakest. In both the Gilgamesh and the Old Testament stories, the serpent is used as a representation of Satan. The crafty ways that Satan uses to get people to do things his way are well manifested in the way that the serpent carries itself. In both myths as well, the serpent has been given some human characteristics in the sense that it can communicate to its victims by speech. Though, in reality, a snake can't talk or even have such desires as eternal life, the humanization from both stories of this particular reptile is strikingly similar. The main difference between the serpent incidents in the Bible story and the Epic of Gilgamesh is the fact that in the latter, the serpent snatched eternal life for itself. This is as opposed to the creation story whereby Adam and Eve already had been accorded eternal life by God and only lost it as a punishment for their disobedience. Secondly, the repercussions are not clear on the part of the serpent in the second story. To some extent, he actually gets rewarded with eternal life, as opposed to the Bible story, where he is cursed to walk on his belly. This essay on comparison between the serpent in the Old Testament and Gilgamesh was written and submitted by a student just like you. The Ivy Panda Samples database hosts thousands of works similar to this one, on various subjects. Visit ivypanda.com to find what you are looking for, free of charge.